Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you are all having a great day. To start things off, this might possibly be the most how much clearer can I make it in your face news in the entire world. Ripple is making major strides with their head of research on the business development team, Ryan Zagone, being elected to the Federal Reserve's Faster Payments Task Force Steering Committee. The steering committee is a 16-member team to represent the working group's numerous stakeholders. This task force by the Federal Reserve was launched back in 2015. It has focused on identifying goals and attributes of effective, faster payment systems, proposing solutions and assessing their capability to achieve these goals, and championing the payment industry to take steps towards implementation and adoption of faster payment capabilities. Its core vision is to call upon the different stakeholders to come together to realize the vision of a payment system in the United States that is faster, ubiquitous, broadly inclusive, safe, highly secure, and efficient by 2020. The task force has met 252 times, very exact, through regular meetings and teleconferences, and spent over 120,000 hours doing so. The current participants number 321. This is why Ryan Zagone's election as a member of the steering committee is a huge step forward, not for only Ripple, but for the payment system envisioned by the task force. Zagone will be the voice of the technology and non-bank service providing sector. At Ripple, Ryan Zagone works with financial institutions, regulators, and the central banks the company has partnered with to date. This then makes Ryan the best candidate to relay his experience with respect to improving banking infrastructure, as well as accelerating the adoption of faster payment settlements globally. He said, in a quote, "It's a privilege to be selected. I look forward to leveraging Ripple's global experience as the task force assesses ways to increase speed, efficiency, access to, and competition in payments. I will continue Ripple Labs' constructive approach in working with peers, banks, partners, and the broader financial industry, including the NACHA, IPFA, and the W3C. Above all, I am committed to being an open and inclusive presence on the task force, representing the priorities and concerns of fellow non-bank service providers." I don't know how much clearer I can make this. This is one of the reasons why I follow Ripple and why I am invested. I will say it that way. I said this from the beginning. I don't think that banks are going anywhere, and I'm sure many of you probably know this in your head as well. As much as we would like to think that banks would be gone in the next 2 years, they're probably not going to be. And the fact that someone on the Ripple team who talks with regulators around the world is now on the Federal Reserve Task Force, which has also tested Ripple and approved Ripple. You kind of see where I'm going with this. It's becoming far too obvious. It's almost like a how do you say it? It's almost like, you know, someone putting something in front of your face and you go, no, that's not real. Ripple is so deep into all of the banking sector and the world banks around the world. Like, it's literally, it's kind of blatantly obvious at this point that even if Ripple doesn't become, or XRP doesn't become the number one coin, they're going to be around for a very long time, especially with news like this. Next up, this one's kind of interesting. Ted Rogers, who is the president of the cryptocurrency giant Xapo, believes that Bitcoin will become a global reserve asset similar to the role the US dollar plays today. The recent bearish trends in the cryptocurrency market have not fazed Xapo's president one bit, as he still holds bullish sentiment regarding Bitcoin's value in today's world. According to an interview done with the business publication Cheddar, Ted believes that Bitcoin's value will stabilize over the next few weeks due to a lack of price catalyst. He said, "Over the next 7 to 14 days, I kind of expect Bitcoin's price, to be not too far from where it is now. News about cryptocurrencies has undoubtedly slowed, with pieces of breaking news being few and far in between." I think we have enough news, but I think any type of breaking news, like something really, absolutely insane, we have maybe one every 2 or 3 months. I don't know, It's life, I guess, in the cryptocurrency world. However, when queried about Bitcoin's long-term performance, Rogers says that he believes Bitcoin will be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars within the upcoming years. To give the value of this prediction a bit of context, a $200,000 Bitcoin would create a market cap of over $3 trillion US, a valuation higher than any publicly traded company that exists in our world today. Although this prediction may seem outlandish, some predict that prices will range in the hundreds of thousands will come in due time. We've heard this many times before. That is definitely going to hit. I think it's going to be I want to say a scary day, exciting and very scary whenever Bitcoin does actually go over $100,000. And I know you understand what I'm saying. This will be the point of no return. This will be the point where Bitcoin will have become so mainstream that you can't ignore it anymore. And even with all the things that we have in Bitcoin's names, you know, futures, mutual funds, we don't have stocks and bonds yet. We have futures, we have other things, we have derivatives, retirement funds, soon to be 401ks and stuff like that. When it hits 100,000, it's going to be an absolute craze. And it'll be completely catastrophic to the mentality of many people in the space. If we hit 100,000, even 200,000, and then we have a huge pullback and Bitcoin's price falls back down to like 25,000, who knows what's going to happen, but this is being echoed by a lot of people. I guess maybe I just can't see the forest for the trees. I can't see that far into the future, but so many people think that eventually Bitcoin is literally going to become the world currency. And I don't know how many people actually agree with this, but apparently all the experts think that this is well on its way. Next up, Felix Hufeld, chief of Germany's financial watchdog, has said blockchain technology is revolutionary and its applications could turn the entire financial sector upside down. Hufeld, who is president of the German Financial Supervisory Authority, or BaFin, made the remarks during a speech at an event in Berlin last week in which he described the regulators' thinking on Bitcoin and blockchain. Despite the current hype around the Bitcoin price and the boom of ICOs, he said blockchain's ability to power distributed applications could also be revolutionary. He said, these apps are not only safe from failure of individual computers or providers, they also promote the development of a blockchain economy. Further, the BaFin head said blockchain applications have promise in areas that lack an effective control mechanism or trustworthy institutions, such as in foreign trade or development aid. The speech follows remarks by Hufeld in April in which he stated that he does not want to kill innovation in blockchain, though his agency is beefing up efforts to regulate cryptocurrency trading over money laundering concerns, according to a report at this time. One of the funniest things I think about a lot of this is if you pay attention to what a lot of the people say when they say like things that like failures, you know, when you're in politics, you can't really say what you mean. I'm sure we've all noted that in our countries, politicians never say what they want to say. One of the main things that I have heard multiple times, if you pay attention to, is that a lot of the world governments are really into blockchain specifically because they say that it'll help not fraud when you don't trust another country and you don't trust them to do X, Y, and Z. But they say if all this information is on a blockchain and every other country around the world can then check to see if this country has done something and this country has not done something, then, you know, you don't really have to point a finger. Everyone can kind of just, you know, point to the screen and go, you know, this is your problem. You definitely have to do it. So they seem to be really into blockchain specifically because it kind of stops other countries from lying outright, because when you have everything on ledger technology or on a blockchain, you can definitely see what has definitely, you know, happened or what should have happened. So this is why I think a lot of countries are really psyched about being able to catch other countries in a lie or to make sure that they've actually done what they said they wanted to do. Next up, the Bank of International Settlements, or the BIS, is dedicating 2 chapters of its forthcoming annual economic report to cryptocurrencies. BIS, considered to be the central bank's central bank, will publish these 2 chapters this weekend on the June 17th. You know, that was a little bit in the past. The institution announced this week. The full report will be published on June 24th. The upcoming report will follow the bank's most recent quarterly review, which warned that many cryptocurrencies are ultimately get-rich-quick schemes. The review states, what makes cryptocurrencies credible is trust in the issuing institution, and successful central banks have a proven record of earning this public trust. The short experience of cryptocurrency shows that technology, however sophisticated, is a poor substitute for hard-earned trust in sound institutions. The problem is that none of them are actually trusted, so that is kind of weird. Similarly, BIS touched on the topic in an opinion piece written in part by Markets Committee Chair Jacqueline Lowe in March. The piece claimed that public cryptocurrencies are not feasible options for a cashless society. By the same token, the bank has claimed that digital currencies issued by central banks could carry unwelcome side effects, such as making periods of financial instability worse by helping banks' clients funnel their money from their accounts more quickly. If you were around in 2008, of course you were. If you're listening to this, I hope you were. When the last financial crisis happened, a lot of people don't know or were unaware or just did not want to know when the banks were crumbling and people were trying to take their money out of the banks. A lot of the banks around the world, and if I'm not mistaken, especially the ones in the US, actually had armed guards standing outside so people could not take out their money. And you were told if you wanted to take out, let's say you had 25,000 in your account, they said, nope, you can only take out 100. And this is why the guards were standing outside. So if everything is digital and everything is extremely liquid and everything moves, you don't have to wait 5 business days to move anything. If you can move it in seconds and there's another financial crisis and everyone decides to take their money at the exact same time, what then happens to the economy? So it's going to be interesting to see exactly the complete report of what they have to say, because they keep claiming that cryptocurrencies are inferior, but then other banks keep saying that they're moving towards creating their own cryptocurrencies. And then other banks still say that they don't want other banks to create their own cryptocurrencies because of issues like this, like being able to control and touch your own money when you feel that there is danger. Going to be an interesting couple of years moving forward, especially in the financial cryptocurrency space. Next up, kind of one of the most interesting ones and ones that I think that we actually have to think about. CBOE Global Markets may now be close to launching an Ethereum futures product. Following a recent comment from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, official indicating that the agency doesn't consider Ethereum's native cryptocurrency a security. On Thursday, the SEC's Director of Corporation Finance, William Hinman, notably said that based on his understanding of the Ethereum network and its decentralized structure, current offers and sales of Ether are not security transactions. This news was today welcomed by Chris Concannon, President and COO at CBOE, who said in a statement that the exchange is pleased with the SEC's decision to provide clarity around the issue. A cloud has been hanging over Ethereum since April, when a former regulator suggested that Ether and Ripple-linked cryptocurrency XRP were both securities. Concannon said, this announcement clears a key stumbling block for Ethereum futures, the case for which we've been considering since we launched the first Bitcoin futures in December of 2017. In previous comments this past December, Concannon also suggested that CBOE might also launch Bitcoin Cash futures sometime in the future. We've seen what has happened to the Bitcoin price based on Bitcoin futures. Heaven help us if or when eventually they do launch Ethereum futures. I'm not a huge futures person, as in like I've never dealt in futures. I am not a financial expert when it comes to futures. Let us know in the comment section below if you actually are, and I don't mean people saying, oh, Ethereum's going to crash. If you've ever really dealt with futures or you know how futures work, if there's a way to break from the mold of what the price of the future says, because a lot of people have noted before that when we were getting Bitcoin futures, people were saying that the gold and silver market is manipulated because of the gold and silver futures market. And if we get a futures market for the top 10 coins, I don't think cryptocurrency will be going anywhere. At least I don't know how to figure out how to break from it, because we've seen over the last 6 months, if all the other reports are true, that the Bitcoin price has been shoved down and destroyed and manipulated and held down where it is because of Bitcoin futures. What then happens for every other coin when they're all stuck under some type of futures contract? Yeah, this, like I said, something to think about for the long term, because I have a feeling as we get more clarity on all the other tokens, will then know, I'm pretty sure, at least the top 10 will have some type of futures in their name. So it's going to get interesting very, very fast. Last thing, Binance has come forward to state that they're actually going to be supporting, at least for now, 3 EOS airdrops. They are IQ, DAC, and Eon. I would rather message them to figure out exactly. They even have their email support here to figure out exactly what the plan is when they're planning on releasing these tokens, or what you have to do, or how many coins you have to have on their website. Usually the minimum comes out to be around 100 EOS. This is what I said before. I think it was Binance and I think Bittrex, if I'm not mistaken, who said that they weren't going to be covering any EOS airdrops. I figured that they would be focusing on, or allowing, if you will, like the most trusted of the airdrops that are going to be happening. There are a lot of like major companies who are dropping airdrops to the community, and I have a feeling that Binance, because of their stand in the entire cryptocurrency space, that they're going to try to only support airdrops that are from like trusted and or well-known cryptocurrency companies, institutions, whatever you want to call them, spaces, people. But yeah, this is I think as of now we know about like 27 airdrops or something like that, or more, that are supposed to be happening in June and the beginning of July. So them only offering 3 is like, makes you wonder how many of these are actually going to be legit. Alrighty, everyone, that's definitely going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys look forward to the one world currency that apparently everyone else knows about, that we just haven't been informed about yet. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Thank you once again for all the support, and I will talk to you all soon. See you.